Plenty of it to go around the state of Iowa and Illinois. We'll take a look at that forecast for snowfall amounts coming up here in just a moment. But right now we look outside on Skyview. This looks very similar to what we had around here yesterday. Normally there in the background we'd be able to see the I-74 bridge, but the fog's pretty thick right now in the QCA. Visibility down to less than 2 miles. Earlier this morning, the National Weather Service did put out a winter weather advisory for this afternoon through about 6 p.m. This is for the potential of freezing, drizzle, and fog. We're not looking at any steady freezing rain. If you open up the QC weather app, you're likely not going to see any precipitation on it because the drizzle falls below the radar beam. But with that fog and temperatures near freezing with that drizzle, there could be a few slick spots, especially bridges and overpasses. Right now in Moline, we're down to 3 miles of visibility, 1 mile in Davenport, but down to 0 in Macomb, Kwqc, as well as Mount Pleasant. As I mentioned, those temperatures are right around that freezing mark, 33 right now in Moline. So it's basically north of Highway 20 where we have that advisory out, where we are concerned for maybe a few slick spots on the roads. Visible satellite and radar shows a lot of clouds and fog around the area, but we do not have any rain or snow popping up, at least on radar. But again, the drizzle falls in those lower clouds, so it doesn't always get picked up by that radar beam. Wider view shows things getting pretty active here off to the southwest in the Four Corners region. It's this area where we have that winter storm developing. That low pressure is going to develop off the Rockies and track just south of St. Louis, and that puts us in a prime location for heavy snow across the QCA. That's why we do have that first alert day in effect for tomorrow. It goes from 6 a.m. to midnight. It encompasses the entire TV6 viewing area for moderate to heavy snow, along with slick roads and reduced visibility. Those winter storm watches have been upgraded to winter storm warnings. The exception, Joe Davies in Dubuque County. That's where we're going to see a pretty sharp cutoff on snow totals. The heaviest snow, however, is going to fall south of Interstate 80. We'll time everything out now with Exact Track. We're going to start you off at 8 o'clock Saturday morning. That's the time, if you have to get to any destination, do it then, because between 8 and noon, we're going to see the snow overspread the area from south to north. And once it starts, it is going to pick up in intensity. You can see those darker blues indicating that heavier snow. Also notice the winds. They're going to be out of the north anywhere from 10 to 20 miles per hour. That's going to blow the snow around, creating additional reduced visibilities. And with those north winds, our temperatures are going to be falling throughout the day. So we'll start off in the 20s, likely go down into the teens throughout the afternoon. And that means this is going to be a very light, powdery snow. So it's going to really add up very quickly, and it's going to be easy to remove, unlike that snow that we saw on Tuesday where it was very heavy. That snow is going to continue through the evening hours, become a little more scattered by midnight, and eventually track east of the area. But those north winds on Sunday are going to bring in dangerously cold wind chills below 0. So here's the snowfall forecast. Has not changed much from what Alexis had earlier this morning. Looks like our northern hometowns will get 2 to 5 inches. That would probably be north of Kwqc and Savannah, but south of there, 5 to 8 inches of snow, including here in the Quad Cities. There could even be locally higher amounts. I would say southwest of the Quad Cities, from Mount Pleasant and Burlington down toward Kwqc, could see 10 inches or maybe even more. So obviously we have some really high impacts as far as the winter weather goes. Moderate impacts, but I would not be surprised to see a few red areas show up on this map, as we are anticipating a pretty high impact event here on New Year's Day. Temperatures, as I mentioned, going to start off in the 20s and fall and fall and fall until we get to 0 by Sunday morning. All day Sunday we will have wind chills below 0 with a high barely making it to 10. Luckily not much in the way of snowfall in the forecast, but we'll get a brief warm up early next week before more cold air filters in. So starting off the new year cold and very, very snowy. It could be the snowiest New Year's Day on record.
Cold, snow, wind. Sounds like winter in the Quad Cities.
It's about time it shows up, right?
Yeah. Thanks so much.